Grace never believed in heaven or hell until she saw them with her own eyes. When a tragic accident took her life, she was dragged into a terrifying abyss, surrounded by shadows before being rescued by a blinding light. Face to face with Jesus, she witnessed a truth most people ignore. Time is running out, and many who think they're safe aren't. Now she's back, and what she saw will shake you to your core.
I never cared about God, not in a rebellious way, just in a who has time for that kind of way. Life was too busy, too fun, too full of distractions to waste time thinking about death, heaven or hell. But let me tell you something. That changed because I died and I saw what's coming. And if you think you have all the time in the world to figure it out, you don't. Let me explain. It was just another ordinary day. Bright, warm, the kind where you don't even think about tomorrow because today feels endless. I was 20 years old, walking through the city with my best friend Michelle. We were laughing. About what? I don't even remember. Something stupid. Something that didn't matter. But then, a horn. Loud, deafening. Michelle's eyes went wide. Her mouth moved, but I couldn't hear her. Time stretched, like the universe itself was pausing. Then, impact. A violent, unstoppable force hit me, like I had been ripped from the earth itself. My body lifted, weightless, then slammed onto the asphalt. And just like that, everything stopped. No pain, no sensation, just silence. I thought I had blacked out, but then I saw her, Michelle. She was kneeling in the street, screaming. People were gathering. A man bent down, pressed his fingers to my neck, shook his head. And that's when I saw it. My body, twisted, broken, unmoving, but I was standing, watching, separated. I tried to move. Nothing. I tried to scream. No voice. I was dead. And that's when it came for me. A force, cold, suffocating, yanked me backward. I wasn't floating. I wasn't rising. I was being dragged down, fast. The city, the people, the world I knew, it all disappeared in a blur. Then there was nothing, not blackness, something worse. The darkness was alive. It moved. It breathed. And it was watching me. At first I heard whispers, soft, almost gentle. Then they changed. My name, Grace, twisted, stretched, distorted in ways that sounded wrong. Then they laughed, a sick, choked cackle that slithered through the void. And that's when I saw them. Shadows. Not like shadows from the sun. These were shifting, writhing things crawling at the edges of my sight. I had no body, but I could feel them. And something else. Something massive. Ancient. Waiting. Then they lunged. And I knew. I wasn't just dead. I was in hell. Then, a voice. One word. Beer! It cut through the darkness like a sword of fire. The shadows shrieked, recoiling. The whispers died. And suddenly, light. Not like sunlight. Not like anything I had ever seen. This wasn't light, you see. It was light you felt. The darkness shrank away as something lifted me upward, away from the abyss, away from the horrors reaching for me. And then I saw him. I didn't need an introduction. There were no doubts, no questions. Jesus. Not like the paintings, not soft or distant. He was more real than anything I had ever known. Power itself. And yet, his eyes. He wasn't angry. He was grieving. Not for himself. For me. And then, It happened. I saw my life. Not like memories, but like reality replaying before me. Every choice, every ignored opportunity, every time I rolled my eyes at faith, every time someone tried to tell me the truth and I brushed them off. But worse, I felt what others had felt. Every lie I told, every selfish moment. I didn't just see them. I lived them again through the eyes of the people I hurt. Then Jesus spoke. You were never meant to be in the darkness. The words shattered me. But you chose it. No excuses, no defenses, just the truth. And then he showed me what's coming. The vision shifted. I saw Earth, but it wasn't right. The sky, black, poisoned. The air, thick, heavy. And the people? They weren't running. They weren't afraid. They were following something, shadows. The same twisting, writhing creatures from the abyss. Walking freely, and no one cared. They reached for people, and the people welcomed them. Smiling, laughing. Jesus' voice broke through my horror. This is what is to come. They will not see until it is too late. Then I saw it. A gate. Not just any gate. The gate. Heaven. People ran toward it. Desperate. Screaming. But just as they reached it, something ripped them away. Their faces. Some of them thought they were saved. They knew my name, Jesus said, but they never truly followed me. Then I saw the book of life. Pages glowing with fire. Names written in light. And then, some names vanished, gone. I wanted to scream. Many will be lost, a voice thundered. An angel stood beside Jesus, wings like molten gold. His presence shook the very air. The time is near. Then Jesus turned to me. You must tell them. And everything collapsed. I woke up gasping. Pain shot through my body. Machines beeped. My mom sobbed. She was gone. 3 full minutes. But to me, it had been an eternity. I tried to speak, to tell them what I had seen, but the words wouldn't come. Then the attacks started. Nights became torture, paralysis, a weight on my chest, shadows in the room, whispers returning. Then one night something pressed down on me, crushing, suffocating, trying to silence me. I could barely breathe, but I forced out one word, Jesus. The darkness fled, and that's when I knew something doesn't want you to hear this. I started telling people. Some listened, some laughed, some dismissed it as a dying brain hallucination. But a few, just a few, asked in hushed voices, what do I do? Because deep down, they felt it. I used to think life was just about the here and now, what made me happy in the moment. I never questioned what came after, because, honestly, I didn't care. But when I died, when I stood before Jesus and saw everything I had ignored, I realized how blind I had been. We live in a world that keeps us distracted. Social media, money, success. It all makes us feel like we have endless time, but we don't. I saw people begging at the gates of heaven, crying out to Jesus, only to be turned away. Not because they never heard of him, but because they never truly followed him. That shook me. It's easy to think we'll get right with God later, that we'll have more chances. But I was given a second chance. Most people won't be. That thought haunts me. I don't share this to scare you. I share it because I was you. I ignored the signs. I laughed off faith, and I almost paid the price. So, if you're hearing this now, don't push it away like I once did. Because one day, whether you're ready or not, you will stand before him.